everybody. Come on in and make yourself at home. Tonight, I'm about to go to bed, and I'm out of tea, and that's not a good thing, because I can't wake up in the morning without a glass of tea. Most people drink coffee, not me. Hang on one sec. Okay, so I figured I would make a video teaching everybody how to make sweet tea. Super simple thing to do, but so many people get it wrong. First of all, you buy yourself a Mr. Coffee tea maker. Comes with this in the pitcher and the little thing that goes on top that holds your tea. I use 2 tea bags. I happen to have Lipton here today, but I like Louisiana. Just about any brand. I prefer to stay away from the generics because you just never know with them. These are always the same every time. That's the key thing about making sweet tea, is having everything the same every time. So what I do is I open up, take the lid off of this, put the tea bags in. I like to take the tags off the tea bags because I'm not sure I want paper taste in my tea. I don't know if it would do that, but I'm not going to take a chance. You fill your jug up with water, and there's a fill line right here. I go just a little bit over that. And then you pour it into the lid of this, or the back of this tea maker. And I've got to where I can just about hear when it's full, but you pour it down to the first line on the thing, and you'll feel it and see it. It's clear on this video, but you'll be able to see it. Then you stick a little contraption into the top of the tea maker. You put your lid on it, you close that lid, and you put it underneath just like this, and you push the button, and it's that easy. If you don't have a Mr. Coffee tea maker, I always use the same pot. When I was younger and I didn't have a tea maker, I'm just wondering when's the last time I didn't have a tea maker. I'm going to tell you something about this tea maker. I've had 3 in the last 30 years. They go bad about every 10 years. It is the single most important and best appliance in my home. And they're not sponsoring me. I don't even know what that's all about yet. I've made 3 videos on YouTube. But honestly, if I had to walk out of this house and there was a hurricane coming and I wanted to save one appliance, this would be it. Anyhow, if you don't have one, you can fill up, I'm going to say that's a 1-quart pot. I've had it for what looks like 100 years. I use the same pot every single time. I put 2 family-sized tea bags in the pot. Right there. Dump it in. And then I turn on the stove. I put it on, usually I put it between number 6 and number 4 on my stove. And I let it steep. I let it get good and hot. And I let it sit there. Don't boil it. Don't boil it. It'll ruin the taste of your tea. And the lower you put the setting on the stove, the better. But I usually let it sit there about 20 minutes or until the water in the pot is so dark, let me think, that it looks like lake water. Really dark. And what I do after that is I take the tea bags out and I pour the tea into a pitcher, about a 2-quart pitcher. And then I pour water up to fill the pitcher up. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and let this tea brew. I've got 2 of them going. And I'm going to put the 2 pitchers in this very expensive pure distilled water jug. Anyhow, that's going to be my tea for tomorrow. I've been drinking tea since I was probably 10 years old. My stepmother made the best tea I ever had in my life till I got grown and learned how to do it myself. Now it's about equal. But you go to a restaurant and you want tea. And down in the South here, if you say you want tea, nobody asks you if you want sweet or unsweet. It's just a given. You have to specify if you want unsweet tea. But everywhere else I've ever been, up north, even in Virginia, anyhow, you have to ask for sweet tea. And then they'll try to give you a packet of sugar. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you want to make good tea taste the right way, you have to put the sugar in when the tea's hot and stir it up. Because if you don't, all you're going to get is little granules of sugar in the bottom of your glass. Well, nobody wants to take the last sip of tea and have a mouthful of sugar, do they? No, they don't. Trust me on this. Anyhow, I'm going to let this brew, and I'll come back whenever we go to put the sugar in it, because I got an important tip for you. All right? Hey everybody, I'm back. The tea's finished brewing, and now I'm going to give you that important tip. Always use the same container to measure your sugar. If you don't, your tea's always going to taste different. Just like with the pot. You use the same pot, you put the same amount of water in the pot, you put the same amount of tea bags in the pot, you use the same pitcher over and over and over again. I'm going to put two sort of heaping things of sugar in this tea pitcher here. Oh my goodness, I forgot my stirring. You don't have to use the same stirrer. I use this. And I stir my tea up while it's good and hot so that all those granules of sugar get dissolved in your tea. And then, once it's stirred up, I use this funnel and I pour it into this jug. Sometimes it takes a bit because my funnel's too small. And this will take a second. Almost there. There. Now, for those of you who don't have the Mr. Coffee Tea Maker, I'm going to show you how to do your tea in the pot. Just a minute. There. Ooh, that's hot. This has a brass handle and it gets hot. What you're going to do, here's your tea pitcher. You're going to pour that tea into your tea pitcher. And then I turn my stove off because I'm real likely to set the house on fire. Then you fill it the rest of the way up with water. And I'm going to do that right now. There. Now that's about the same amount of tea that was in the pitcher when it finished brewing. And I'm going to stick two more kind of heaping cups. Please don't use a whole cup. This measures out to be about 1/3 of a cup. And then put that in there. So if you want to get technical, a little bit more than 2/3 of a cup goes into each, I'm using the wrong stirring stick, goes into each pitcher. This is about a 2-quart pitcher here. Might be a little more than that, but I'm not going to get detailed about it. that's the importance of using the same pitcher all the time, because it doesn't matter. When you get it to taste in the way you want it to taste, you know when you use the same things to do it that it's going to taste that way all the time. There's a joke going around the internet that when you're in the South, who made the tea is not a compliment. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I've had people come just to ask me for some of my tea. Come and sit with me and chat at the kitchen table. And if you got any Southern manners at all, that's the first thing you do when somebody comes to visit. You just set them down and you say, "Hey, would you like to have some tea?" And most people say, "Sure, that'd be nice." But yep, it's almost full. You know, I ought to break down and get me a gallon jug that's nicer than this. See, there's a little bit left over, but that's all right. I'm going to pour it right here in this mason jar before I go to bed. Now, we've got a gallon of tea for tomorrow. I've got 2 children still living at home. I'm a mom to 7 kids. 5 of them are grown, and let's see, 1, 2. 2 of them are married, and the 3 boys, they don't have any interest in that right now, and that's fine. I'm a firm believer that kids ought to do what makes them happy and not be pressured to try to get married or have relationships or any of that stuff until they're absolutely ready for it. Anyhow, I'm going to put my lid back on there, and I'm going to come over here to the fridge and stick it right here. And it'll be nice and cold in the morning. Now, let me get some ice. Y'all please don't look at the inside of this freezer. That's one of my chores tomorrow. I've got to clean out the refrigerator. I hate to do it with a passion. I'd rather stick my head in the toilet than clean the refrigerator. And I'm going to stick, when you got hot tea like this in the pitcher and you just made it, you got to put a lot of ice in your glass because of course it's going to melt. My ice maker's broken, so I'm having to use ice trays. And that's awfully inconvenient, but it works. There. And I'm going to pour my tea. And I'm going to go to bed. Now, if you have any questions, please comment below. If you like my video, please hit the like button. And if you want to hear some more about how to do things in the kitchen, or just hear some silly stories about my children or my beautiful grandbaby, let me know. Let me know and subscribe. I've enjoyed doing this, and hope to talk to y'all again the next time.